Hey, in this video, fighter, I want to talk to you about finding a mentor, a coach, someone who can help you fast track your career or your life or any place that you want to go. Finding someone who's already been down that path so that it doesn't take you as long to get there, so that you can get there without as much bumps as bruises as maybe they went through. I talk about this in my book, Fighter, 5 Keys to Conquering Fear. I talk about how I had a spiritual mentor, which was my pastor. I talked about how I had a business mentor, this guy named Kyle. I had my head coach, my head mentor, which was God, okay? And I just can't tell you how important it is to find a mentor for whatever it is that you want to do. Maybe you want to do a mentor for real estate. Maybe you need a mentor for business, or a mentor to help you, better your relationship when you go for marriage counseling. Have someone to mentor you and help you get on the path that you want to go. Because like Tony Robbins says, success leaves clues. All right, and we don't have to learn the hard way. I hire coaches all the time. I hire people to help me out, business coaches, music coaches, my producers, songwriting coaches, people to help me to better it is what I'm doing, as opposed to me learning the hard way. Like, that's why I wrote Fighters, because I wanted to share all the mistakes that I went through so that you could avoid them. That's why I read books. I got tons of other books down here that I read, and in my library that I'm reading all the time, and sometimes those are my mentors. And sometimes I'll read a book, and that person will become a mentor just through the book, through the audio book, but then they'll have an actual online course, or they'll have an actual coaching program where I'll go to a seminar, or with my hero Peter J. Daniels, I flew all the way to Australia to work with him one-on-one for a day. I coach a lot of artists and musicians, so I have this group coaching thing called Fanbase University, where I do group coaching on the 12th and 24th of every month, where I'll coach students that are trying to get into the music industry. And sometimes I have another coaching program, which is a little bit more one-on-one. It's closed right now, but it was this thing called the Inner Circle, where people would get actual direct access to me and, talk on the phone and look at their stuff and ask direct questions. But, I've helped fast track so many people. And the reason I do this is because I've paid other people to help me and the impact that it had on my life. So I encourage you, whatever area of life that you're trying to grow in, don't do it alone. Find a mentor to fast track you so you don't have to learn the hard way. There's people in all kinds of areas. I just looked up how to find a mentor on YouTube, and I found how to find a mentor for your career, how to find a mentor in real estate, how to find mentor in trading for stock trading. So it looks like a lot of business stuff. How to find a mentor for a teenager, to be an example, a role model. That's one thing that I'm trying to do, and why, again, I wrote Fighters, because I'm trying to be a role model for other young men and women growing up, that, that you can live for God, you can live a great life and be successful, not get caught up in drugs and all kinds of messed up things that are going to destroy your life. But find a mentor. Start with books. Okay, whether it's my book or not, start with a book. Find someone that you relate to. Joyce Meyer was a mentor for me for a while. I'd be listening to Joyce Meyer all the time, and she'd really encourage me and inspire me. I don't know if we ever went to one of her seminars, but find someone that you relate to. Find someone who's where you want to be, and model them. See what it is they're doing. See if they do have an online course or something like that you can get plugged into to shorten your journey. My wife does the exact same thing, and she coaches other artists on how to sell their art online if you go to visioncity.biz. But find a mentor. Don't do this alone, because you can get more done in a year with a mentor than you can in 5-10 years by yourself. Okay, because they can go, look, don't go down that path, don't go down this path, and that's wisdom. That's wisdom right there, calling out, trying to get wisdom and understanding. Like, that's why I read books, because it's like I can tap into somebody else's 20 years experience by taking 10 hours just to read a book. And then I've got that 20 years of wisdom in 10 hours, and I can avoid the mistakes, or go to a 2-day seminar to avoid the 20 years of mistakes they made, okay? So this is stuff you want to think about, and again, find someone you relate to. Find someone who is where you want to be. Model them. Follow them and see if you can get mentored or get coached by them. I want to remind you that a fighter isn't someone who never fails. A fighter is someone who never quits.